The phone rang at 2:47 a.m., shattering the silence of my bedroom. It was the hospital. My ex-husband had been in a devastating car crash. His girlfriend was dead. He was paralyzed from the waist down. And somehow, I was still his emergency contact. The nurse's voice cut through the fog of sleep. "Mrs. Harrison, your husband is asking for you. We need to talk about his care." I gripped the phone, staring into the dark, as memories flooded back of the man who'd shattered my world 3 years earlier. Why me? What did he want after all this time? My name is Natalie Harrison. I'm 41, and I was married to Andrew Sheffield for 7 years, the kind of man who could charm anyone with his smile. We met at a charity gala in Seattle. I was there for my architecture firm, and he was coordinating the event. He wore a sharp suit that matched his confident vibe, and when he cracked a joke about the pricey wine, I laughed harder than I should have. That was it, I was hooked. Our wedding was intimate, on the San Juan Islands, with just family and friends. Andrew teared up during his vows, and I felt like the luckiest woman alive. For 4 years, life was bliss. We bought a cozy craftsman home in Queen Anne, adopted a golden retriever named Murphy, and dreamed of kids once my firm grew. But by year 5, cracks appeared. It started small. One night over dinner, Andrew poked at his salad, barely eating. "Natalie," he said, avoiding my eyes, "I bumped into an old college flame last week. Brittany Matthews. Remember her?" I didn't. She'd never come up in our 7 years. That was red flag 1. We dated senior year, he went on. It ended when she moved to New York after grad. Haven't seen her in 15 years. The way he said her name, gentle, like a treasured memory, twisted my gut. "Small world," I replied evenly. "How's she doing?" "Great, actually. Back in Seattle, in venture capital." His eyes lit up with something I couldn't place. Guilt? Excitement? "We're grabbing coffee next week, just to catch up as friends." I nodded, playing the secure wife. Jealousy wasn't my style, I trusted him. But hindsight? I was naive. Coffee turned into more meetings. Suddenly, Brittany was in every chat. "Brittany says tech stocks are hot. Brittany loves this new spot in Belltown. Brittany this, Brittany that." My business partner, Dana Chen, spotted it first. During a blueprint review for a waterfront project, she paused. "Nat, when did Andrew last ask about your day?" I blinked. "Weeks? Months?" Dana, twice divorced, knew the signs. "I'm not stirring trouble, but watch out. This isn't heading good places." I started noticing, Andrew's phone always face down, hushed calls in other rooms, new clothes he wore out but not at home. His cologne shifted from fresh to something bolder, musky, unfamiliar. He came home one night at 2 a.m., smelling like wine and that scent, brushing off my questions with a quick peck. Worst, he stopped sharing stories from work. He'd always been animated about quirky clients. Now, he'd peck my cheek mechanically and vanish into his office. I could have confronted him, suggested therapy. But fear held me back. I sensed the truth but dreaded voicing it. 3 months in, Andrew announced a guys' weekend in Portland, craft beer tour with book club buddies. He left Friday with a duffel, Murphy and I watching from the porch, a sinking feeling in my chest. That night, a text from Mike Grant, supposedly on the trip. "Nat, no book club getaway. I'm homesick. Thought you should know." I froze on the couch, Murphy's head in my lap, the words searing. Then I dug, phone bills, cards, bank statements. Hotels downtown, fancy dinners we'd never shared, men's store buys that never appeared. He'd been careless, or indifferent. Brittany's social media was easy to find, stunning, poised, from wealth and elite schools. Photos of her at galas, sailing Lake Washington, with a retriever eerily like Murphy. And pics with Andrew, too close at fundraisers, laughing at vineyards, intimate at rooftop bars. The latest? Her in a dress he'd claimed was for work, gazing at him with pure adoration, the way he once looked at me. I still hadn't told him I knew about the vineyard photos, but that was about to change. Andrew breezed in Sunday evening, glowing with a joy I hadn't seen in ages. "The beer tour was epic," he said, unpacking. "Found this stout you'd dig." He handed over a bottle, likely a hasty buy. "How's Mike?" I asked casually. "His flu better?" A flicker of panic, then smooth, "What flu?" "Oh, yeah, he perked up by Saturday." Quick bug. The deception thickened the air like fog. Monday, I met Patrick Vance, Dana's recommended divorce attorney, sharp, 50s, no nonsense. After scanning my proof, he nodded. "Clear-cut adultery case, Mrs. Harrison. Washington's no fault, but infidelity sways assets. As primary earner, with evidence, you're golden." I signed, green-lighting the papers. By Wednesday, they were ready. Patrick suggested serving at work, but I wanted face-to-face. After 7 years, he deserved that. Thursday night, post his late meeting, he found me in the living room, papers fanned out like a trap. "Nat, what's this?" His voice wavered. "Divorce papers," I said steadily. "Review and sign by week's end." His face paled. "Where's this from?" I showed the photos, him and Brittany, couple-like across Seattle. Months of proof, hotels, charges, calls. "You're cheating with Brittany Matthews." I'm done ignoring it. He slumped on the couch arm, bag dropping. "I can explain, save it," I cut in. "You rekindled with your ex, fine. But sneaking? By banging her behind my back? Be honest." Tears welled. "It's not simple. Brittany and I have history, unfinished. I needed to know if it was real." "By betraying our marriage?" My tone flat. "That's your excuse? Cosmic adultery?" "I love her," he whispered. "Sorry, Nat. She's my soulmate. Universe fixing a 15-year error." "Universe?" I echoed. "Soulmate? That's your line after everything? Don't mock. You don't get what if with the one who escaped." "True, I don't. Marrying you made you my one. No exes, no exits." I committed fully. "You didn't." He stood, pacing to the window, skyline beyond. "So, 7 years, and you're quitting?" "Not quitting, accepting." "You want Brittany? Go. But I'm no fallback." He faced me, regret flickering. "I never meant this end." "You're good, Nat deserve more." "Yes," I agreed. I did. He moved out that weekend, clothes, books, and used vintage watches. Took Murphy, who whimpered, tail low, as Brittany cooed "Come on, boy" from her SUV. I turned away before the tears fell, watching from inside, no confrontation needed. Pointless. Divorce finalized 4 months later. Andrew wed Brittany 6 weeks post-decree. Social media announced, vineyard in Woodinville, him beaming smugly, her radiant. I buried myself in work, 80-hour weeks, landmark designs. Dana fretted, dragging me to dinners, games. "Can't work to death, Nat." He chose. "Now choose life." She was spot on. Gradually, I rebuilt, gym, Cascade hikes, old friends. Dates, but casual, trust felt shattered. 3 years on, new home, rescue dog scout, firm partner. The hurt scarred, thoughts of him rare. Then that 2:47 a.m. call. Nurse detailed, Andrew and Brittany, post-gala, hit by drunk driver. She died instantly. He survived, spinal injury, paralyzed below waist. He's asking for you only, Mrs. Harrison. Says you're his only family. I sat stunned. Sympathy mixed with chill. His parents? Brother in California? Doesn't want them. Insistent on you. "I'll come," I said, surprising myself. The drive to Harborview was surreal, rain on the windshield blurring my vision, radio playing our old wedding song by chance. I gripped the wheel. I owe him nothing, but what if he dies hating me? parked, hesitated, why? He wasn't mine. But curiosity won, why me? Why still contact? ICU hushed, machines beeping. Dr. Sarah Mitchell met me, vertebrae shattered, nerves damaged. Walking odds? Slim, 5% with intense rehab. He's medicated, awake. Keep calm. Nurse led to his room, small, wired up, face bruised, eye swollen. He cried seeing me. Nat, he rasped, eyes pleading through the bruises. You came. Please. I need you to forgive me. What would you do in that moment? I lingered in the doorway, not stepping in. The nurse left, door clicking shut. Andrew, why call me? Because you're my wife, he said, as if obvious. Ex-wife. Divorced 3 years. He looked away. I aired, Nat Brittany wasn't what I imagined. Our marriage paled to ours. She was possessive, insecure. Too late, I saw I ditched real for illusion. Sorry for your loss, I said neutrally. And this ordeal. But why me? His good I begged. I need you, Nat recovery's long, therapy, home care, mods. Can't alone. The nerve floored me, he wanted me as nurse, disrupting my healed life for the man who'd wrecked it. Parents? Brother? Brittany's kin? Parents too frail. Mark's in San Diego, busy family. Her folks blame me, say I distracted her driving. So, last resort. First choice, he insisted. Always were. Just blind. I stared at skyline from window. 3 years back, you called Brittany soulmate. Universe's fix. Divorced me, wed her weeks later. Wrong, he cut in. Foolish. Threw best away. But second chances, Nat? I faced him. Some get them. You burned yours choosing her. This is the me you created when you chose her. Sorry truly, but won't halt my life for you. Face crumbling. Please. Begging. No one else. Vows? Sickness, health? Null post-divorce. You'll abandon me? You figure it. After 7 years, that's my worth? I headed out. You chose 3 years ago. Live it. Hope recovery. But sans me. Nat, don't, he called. Not this you. Not doing, undoing yours. Difference. I left, corridor to car, hands trembling. Audacity unreal, after lies, affair, cruel end, expecting my sacrifice like backup activated. Days followed, hospital worker called, pleading his isolation, subpar facility risk. His dad phoned, preaching forgiveness, charity. Lawyer letter hinted moral duty. I blocked, barred contacts, warned harassment. Dana bought beer's post story. Right call, Nat. He torched your world, now wants rebuild help. Forgiveness isn't repeat hurt. Therapist Dr. Rachel Kim agreed, healing progress huge. Caretaking undoes it. Compassion sans self-sacrifice. Guilt nagged nights, cruel? Revenge? Better woman helps past hurts? Then recall his soulmate claim, packing ease, wedding joy pics while I grieved. No, not cruel. Protective. 2 months post-crash, ran into Andrew's dad, Paul, at Queen and Grocery. He cornered me by veggies, voice rising. Natalie Harrison, know what you've done? Shopper stared. I picked tomatoes calmly, keeping my voice low. Mr. Sheffield, hello. Don't casual. Andrew's in rehab, battling daily, you ditched. After shared years, walked away. Respectfully, he walked first. Honoring his choice. This isn't a debate. Tears angry. Thought you good. Defended when he left. Said mistake. Maybe deserved loss. Maybe, calm. Chapter closed. Wish well, afar. Left him fuming. That night, Andrew texted new number, sorry dad confronted. He's scared. But no, Brittany showed what I lost leaving you. Exciting, but you solid. Passionate, but kind. Chose wrong, regret forever. Stared, deleted. No reply. 6 months later, Dana slid her phone over during lunch. The Seattle Times headline, Seattle VC firm collapses in massive fraud scandal. I leaned in, heart racing. Millions siphoned offshore. Ponzi scheme. SEC freezes. Brittany facing 15 to 20 years, the night she died, she was driving to meet her lawyer. So the soulmate was a fraudster all along. Cosmic justice, Dana said. But was that the full story? I reread the article, absorbing. Andrew left me for a crook. If no crash, married to inmate, maybe entangled legally. For a second, I pictured dialing his number just to say, told you the universe doesn't fix cosmic mistakes, it collects. But why? He suffered enough. A year post-crash, I fully moved on. Dated seriously, met Clark, landscape architect. Witty, transparent, no shadows. Slow build, trust earned. He knew my past, betrayal, divorce, crash refusal. Protected yourself, he said. Survival, not cruel. Evening, 18 months later, doorbell. Andrew on porch in wheelchair, gaunt, desperate. How find me? PI, he admitted. 5 minutes, Nat? Reluctantly, stepped out, door shut. What? True apology. Not words. He backed up. Ruined marriage chasing dream. Hurt unforgivable. Then, needed help, manipulated Sans owning damage. Wrong. Studied him. Heard. Not seeking chance. Door shut. But therapy year, unpacking choices. I still have bad days, but I'm not running from them anymore. Becoming better than herder. Glad help seeking. Growth deserved. He nodded, tears. You right refusing. No right expect. Forced build support, connect caring folk, self-save over rescue. Managing? Surprised asking. Better. With parents. PT 5 days. Some leg feeling. Maybe assisted walk soon. Good. Truly happy. Quiet, truth on Brittany. Not excuse, but deserve knowing lost to. No fraud. More. Breath. I froze, flashing back to those coffee catch-ups, now recontextualized as something sinister. Contacted deliberate. Via friends, new married successful architect. Researched firm. Plan steal me to pitch fake real estate scam. I entry to your wallet. Revelation chilled. Con from start. Swear unaware, he rushed. Thought fate. Post-crash, files showed notes on you, approaches, investments. Mark, you target. Silent process. If stayed, met as friend, pitched, likely bit, supportive wife. Leaving saved finances. Thanks telling. Hard admit. Oh truth, even worsens me. He rolled to ramp. Right walking every way. Andrew, called. Stopped. Forgive. Not for you, deserve or not. Anger killed me. Peace mine, not absolution. Nodded, grasping. Thanks. Be happy. Deserve. Watched him to van, dad driving. Paul waved neutral. They left, I lingered, release washing over. Clark arrived dinner, red face. Okay? Yeah, true surprise. Finally am. Over meal, spilled, visit, con, relief right decision. Some teach love, Clark said. Others, what isn't? Andrew Ladder. Spot on. Taught, love sans honesty fantasy. Passion sans integrity worthless. Universe no fixer, People via tough choices, growth. 2 years post-crash, life transformed. Clark and I wed small at Discovery Park. Firm won Sustainable Award. Adopted rescue, Murphy 2. No more Andrew contact. Via friends, progress, walks with braces, Kane. Blog on trauma survival, rebuild. Good, redemption sans reconciliation. Can't mistreat, demand sacrifice when choices explode. Compassion not martyrdom. Forgiveness not forgetting. Moving on wise, not heartless. Difference, help versus drown. Andrew chose walk out. I refused walk back. Saved me. But how did that choice lead to my best life yet? As I stood on the porch that night, watching Andrew's van disappear into the Seattle streets, a wave of clarity hit me. For the first time in years, the weight of betrayal felt lifted, not gone, but manageable. I'd spent so long rebuilding walls around my heart, and now, with his apology echoing, I realized those walls had served their purpose. They protected me until I was strong enough to face the ruins without crumbling. Clark's arrival pulled me back to the present. His warm smile and easy hug grounded me. Over dinner, a simple pasta he whipped up with fresh herbs from his garden, we talked it all through. It's like the universe handed you proof, he said, twirling his fork. Not the cosmic nonsense Andrew peddled, but real evidence that your instincts were spot on. I nodded, sipping wine. Exactly. If I'd stayed, who knows? Financial wipeout on top of emotional wreckage. We laughed about the irony, but underneath was a deeper truth: pain had forged resilience. Clark shared his own past, a brief engagement that ended in lies, and how it taught him to value honesty above all. That's why I love how straightforward you are, Nat. No games. His words warmed me more than the meal. That night, as we cleared plates together, I felt a spark of hope ignite. Maybe trust wasn't impossible after all. I hesitated for a second, wondering if I was ready, but then leaned in for a kiss. Yes, this felt right. The next morning, I woke energized. At the firm, Dana noticed immediately. You look lighter, she said during our coffee break. Spill. I recounted the porch visit, the con revelation. Her eyes widened. Holy crap. So Brittany was playing 4D chess, and you dodged the queen? We chuckled, but she turned serious. Proud of you for not slamming the door in his face. Shows growth. Work flew by, final tweaks on an eco-friendly condo project that had us buzzing. Emails poured in from clients praising the designs. For lunch, I treated myself to a solo hike in the nearby greenbelt, scout bounding ahead. The fresh air cleared any lingering doubts. Andrew's chapter was closed, but mine was wide open. Evening brought a surprise text from my sister in California. Heard about Andrew's blog. Wild stuff. You okay? We video called. She listened as I vented the latest. You handled it like a boss, she said. No regrets? None, I replied firmly. As we hung up, I scrolled his blog briefly, raw entries on regret, therapy, small wins and mobility. It humanized him, but didn't pull me back. I deleted the tab, no second thoughts. With closure in hand, what new adventures await in my rebuilt life? The wedding bells and triumphs ahead will inspire. Keep watching. Days turned to weeks, and life settled into a rhythm that felt authentically mine. Clark and I fell into easy routines, weekend farmers markets, where we'd pick ingredients for experimental dinners, evening walks with Scout, debating landscape ideas for my next project. He challenged me in the best ways, pushing creative boundaries without ever overstepping. One walk, he surprised me with a sketch of a garden he'd designed just for us, native plants, a quiet bench. Our future spot, he said. I stared, a mix of joy and that old doubt flickering, but it faded fast. At work, the sustainable housing project hit a milestone, city approval with rave reviews for its green innovations. The team celebrated with a rooftop happy hour, toasting under the Seattle sunset. Dana raised her glass, to Nat, who turned personal storms into architectural masterpieces. Blushing, I clinked glasses, grateful for colleagues who'd become family. One rainy afternoon, I met with my therapist, Dr. Kim. "How's the forgiveness settling?" she asked. I described the porch encounter, the release. "It's liberating," I admitted. "Like shedding old skin." She nodded. "You've redefined boundaries, not walls, but gates you control." We explored how Andrew's con exposed deeper patterns, my past tendency to overlook red flags for harmony's sake. "Now, you're vigilant without being guarded," she said. I left feeling lighter, journaling that night about one small win, spotting a white lie in a client meeting and calling it out gently. Inspired, I volunteered at a local women's shelter, sharing design tips for safe spaces. It connected me to stories of resilience, reminding me betrayal wasn't unique, but recovery was empowering. One evening, a participant thanked me, "Your strength gives me hope." It fueled my own healing. I hesitated sharing my full story at first, but when I did, the room went quiet, then nods, tears, solidarity. Clark proposed subtly during a Cascade hike, down on one knee amid wildflowers. "Nat, you've shown me love is steady, not fireworks. Marry me?" Tears mixed with laughter as I said yes. "Am I ready?" The thought flashed, but his steady gaze chased it away. Planning was low-key, Discovery Park, intimate vows overlooking the sound. Meanwhile, whispers from mutual friends, Andrew's progress impressive, speaking at support groups on accountability. I wished him silent well wishes, no bitterness left. Wedding day dawned crisp. In a simple gown, I walked toward Clark, Murphy too as ring bearer. Vows exchanged, rings slipped on, solid, like us. Reception, laughter, dancing, toasts to new beginnings. Post-honeymoon, firm news, award for the project. Headlines praised Natalie Harrison's visionary eco-designs. Clark beamed, "Told you, unstoppable." As accolades roll in, how does the past shadow fade completely? The final lessons and forward momentum build to an uplifting close, don't turn away now. With the award under my belt, opportunities flooded in, speaking gigs at architecture conferences, collaborations with top firms. One highlight, a panel in Portland where I discussed blending personal growth with professional innovation. "Adversity refines vision," I shared, drawing nods from the crowd. Backstage, a young designer approached, "Your story motivates me to keep going after my own breakup." Moments like that validated every struggle. I paused, sharing a quick tip: start with one boundary, watch it change everything. Home life with Clark blossomed. We renovated our place, merging my structural expertise with his green thumb, solar panels, native gardens, a cozy nook for Scout and Murphy too. Weekends became adventures, kayaking Puget Sound, exploring hidden cafes. "This is us," Clark said one sunset paddle. Built on trust. Therapy sessions tapered, but Dr. Kim's wisdom lingered, "You've transformed pain into purpose." I journaled gratitude daily, simple things like Clark's morning coffee ritual or Dana's unwavering support. One entry, "Today, no guilt about Andrew. Just peace." A year into marriage, we discussed kids, not rushing, but open. "Whenever ready," Clark assured. It felt right, unforced. Friends hosted a housewarming, laughter filled our revamped home. "You've glowed up," Dana teased. Clark squeezed my hand, team effort. As winter approached, I penned a personal essay for an architecture mag, Designing Life After Loss. It went viral, emails pouring in from readers sharing parallels. "Your refusal inspired me to set boundaries," one wrote. I replied to a few, feeling connected. Clark and I adopted a routine of gratitude dates, sharing wins over wine. "Proud of you," he said. "From ashes to empire." Evening reflections often took me back, but forward, reminding myself how far I'd come. Occasional updates on Andrew filtered through, full-time blogger now, advocating for spinal injury awareness. His posts emphasized self-forgiveness, echoing my journey. No contact, but knowing he'd found redemption brought quiet peace. One crisp fall day, I hiked solo, reflecting. From that 2:47 a.m. call to now, I'd chosen self over sacrifice. It wasn't selfish, it was essential. Firm's next project, Community Center for Trauma Survivors. Pouring heart into blueprints, I honored my path. But what timeless wisdom caps this tale of triumph? The profound realization that ties it all together is moments away. In the quiet moments, the full arc of my story crystallized. From the shattering betrayal to the hospital plea, and finally to this vibrant life, one truth stood out: we control our narratives. Andrew's choices exposed cracks, but mine rebuilt foundations stronger than before. Today, 2 years married to Clark, life thrives. Firm leads industry in sustainable designs. We've expanded to Portland. At home, Scout and Murphy too chase each other in the yard, while Clark and I plan our first family trip, San Juan's, full circle. No regrets linger. Andrew's path, from afar, shows growth possible for all. His blog now a book deal, per rumors, proof redemption exists independently. The core lesson? Betrayal doesn't define you, response does. People can't demolish your world then demand rebuild labor. Set boundaries with compassion, forgive for your sake, move forward wisely. If a past love returns amid their chaos, remember, protecting peace isn't cold, it's courageous. Choose yourself, the right ones will celebrate that. This journey taught love's essence: honesty, integrity, mutual respect. Universe doesn't intervene, we do, through deliberate steps. As I watch the Seattle skyline from my office, award plaque gleaming, gratitude swells. From emergency contact to empowered architect of my fate, I've arrived. If you've ever had to choose yourself over someone else's chaos, drop your story below. I read every one. Hit subscribe if you want more tales of turning pain into power.